Welcome to the College Soccer Guy podcast. I am the College Soccer Guy, and I'm here to help you play college soccer. So I like to jump right into it, and today's topic is club soccer. Why is it so important that you play club soccer? What club soccer team should you play for, and how should you play for them? So, to begin with, the reason club soccer is so important to play college soccer is because, traditionally speaking, the coaches are going to go where the best players are and the most of them are. So traditionally speaking, and there was just an interview recently with the Tufts coach, which is a top Division III academic school, they're only going to go to the top Division III schools, ECNL and MLS Next, and similar for most Division I schools. Now there are exceptions, Surf Cup, Jeff Cup, where coaches do gather. But the majority of the time, they're going to those tournaments. And in your lifetime, as an athlete, say you start your recruiting process your freshman year, which is when you should start, but let's say you start at your sophomore or junior year, which is when most of you start, you're only going to have about 3 to 5 showcases to impress coaches. And the problem with only having 3 to 5 is you're going to get injured for one of them. Your coach isn't going to play you for another one. So now you're talking about 1 to 2 showcases. And obviously, that's not good. So this is where ID camps come in, etc. But for today's topic, we're talking about club soccer. So how is it that we work our way to the correct clubs in order to play college soccer and go to these showcases? So I mentioned already, ID camps are a huge part of this recruiting process, and that's just how it is. But if you can also have ID camps, you'll be much more likely to get recruited. So what I want us to do is start to try out for those club teams. How do we do that? So to try out for club teams, first of all, on my website, and if you call me, you'll have the opportunity to see a list of every single club team ranked. It's actually in the Discord chat. We can get you that later. But basically, I've ranked every single club within their region, within their state. And that is a good start. So now you know, okay, what are the best teams in my state and region based off of this measurement. Now, those measurements aren't always perfect. It has to do with wins and losses, and club teams take a big role in this. But what you need to know is in your area, you do want to try and figure out, how do I find the best team? So this website I can give you will help you quite a bit. So that's the first thing. Join the Discord in the link in the bio, and we can get you sorted with that. Now, the next thing is we want you to try out for those teams, and the way you try out for them is very similar to how you get recruited to play college soccer. It's actually pretty much not different at all, meaning what we're going to do is we're going to send them an email and not only ask for a tryout, but their tryout dates are listed. Now, just like the college recruiting process, we know when the college ID camps are. We can just show up, and sometimes you will, just like a club soccer tryout, sometimes you will, but better yet, email the director, email the coach of your age group with a video that you'll be attending. There's going to be a lot of kids trying out for ECNL MLS Next, and if they just have to make a decision on you based off how you train on that tryout date, maybe they won't sign you. But if they've seen some video of you beforehand, or if you can say, hey, I've been recruited by other colleges, but they've told me they want me to play MLS Next, here are the coaches I've spoken to, and then you tell the people at the club soccer teams, that is the way you are right now, like that's where you are in the recruiting process, you'll be even more likely to actually make that team. Because remember, at the end of the day, these clubs are gauged and often directed by, or I would say considered based off of what level you play and what level they're having their kids go play. So if you're getting recruited to play college soccer, the coaches are like, well, if this kid's already being recruited, he's on my team, then I'm going to get the credit for him or her come their graduation. So why don't they should be on my team? Maybe even if they don't think you should be, they'll be like, well, they're being, according to the quote they just sent me from that college coach that was from their ID camp or from an email that they sent, this player is good. I will look better at my job, and the clubs will look better if they get more kids playing college soccer. So when you are going to a tryout, let's pretend you're going to do MLS Next or ECNL, since that's kind of where we're all heading. Girls ECNL, boys MLS Next and ECNL. NAL is another league we'll get into in a minute. But basically, if you're going to try out for a higher level team, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to have already had a video. So if you don't have a highlight video, please make that. If you need, we'll have another podcast about making the highlight video. Then I want you to email them. We'll have another podcast directing exactly what to say in the email. But for right now, I want you to email them and say, here's my video. In this video are clips from XYZ, and I'm continuing to gather more because at this point you're probably a freshman or a sophomore, maybe a junior, and I'm really looking forward to coming to your tryout on X, or may I confirm when your tryout is, or may I have permission to come to your tryout. Now they're inviting you, which is very, very powerful. So now you're at the tryout. Okay, what do you do when you're at the tryout? So coaches are really finicky, as probably you know at this point, about their favorites and who they like. And in my own career, I've dealt with every single kind of coach there is. And one thing that's really helped me through my own career and with the students that I work with is that your son or daughter, or you, if you're a listening athlete, that you're really nice to the coaches. Help them with the gear. Stay afterwards. Help them gather the balls. That goes such a long way. Walk them to their car. That's a huge difference when it comes to the recruiting process. And I often dwell on my own story, which was every single year since 7th grade, I was trying out for my version of MLS Next. At the time, it was called DA Academy. And I didn't make it, ever, until the second semester of my senior year, which was like coming close to being too late to get recruited. But along that journey, I was emailing coaches saying, hey, I was invited out to try out for this DA team. At the time, it was called New York Cosmos West, and which was affiliated with Chivas USA way back in the day. And coaches were like, oh, you got to try out with them? You must be pretty good. Come to our camp. So I'd go to the camp and they say, where are you playing? I'd say, I have a tryout and I'm playing with this team for right now. And they'd be like, oh, well, I just saw you play in person. I know you're playing for a good club team. Why don't you come on a visit to the school? Because I think we like you. And eventually that is what led to my full scholarship offer to play Division I soccer. And that's also what we've done for other students. So playing and trying out for these teams, even if you don't make it, is so important in this recruiting process. So I don't really want you to ever give up. Now let's dive a little bit into the different levels that exist. And I know there's a pyramid, and I can get you guys a pyramid when you guys join the Discord, or if you give me a call, we can talk more about your situation, whatever fits better for you. But in the pyramid, I'm going to start it at the top here. Let's say for sure, pretty much non-negotiable, MLS Next and ECNL for boys, MLS Next, for girls, ECNL, are the two number ones. Now, ECNL for boys, I would call it 1A, meaning it's pretty much the same as MLS Next. In some ways, you could argue it's better. I had a student, his name was Danny. He played MLS Next for Minnesota United, and he's a baller. But he was competing with first-team players. So he didn't play as much as he might have liked on the MLS Next team, which led to him getting significantly less interest playing college soccer, because that was his goal. And it made the recruiting process very difficult because the coach was like, we know you play for an amazing MLS Next team, but hey, you aren't playing any minutes. How do I know if you're what level you are? I can't watch you play. So what we had to do with him is we actually had to not only gather the video that he did have playing, which we had to fix, which is what I did for him. He was also not emailing the teams in the correct way. And so soon enough, we fixed all of that. And then within the first 2 or 3 weeks, he was getting emails from D1 schools, and he later committed to LaSalle on an $80,000 scholarship, which is amazing. He was always the level, but he didn't have his package together, which is, of course, what I'm trying to help you guys all with right now. Okay, so ECNL, MLS Next. Let's call those number 1 and number 1. Girls ECNL. Now, number 2. There's a lot of debate here, but in my personal opinion, I'm going to go with Boys Elite Academy, or Girls Elite Academy, is number 2. NAL is a new league that's going to be considered the second tier of MLS Next, and odds are that will take over ECNL at some point in the future, in my opinion, if they have showcases. If they don't have showcases and they're like, hey, NAL will just compete in hopes of playing at the MLS Next level, then ECNL will be the better place to remain for most of you guys, because they are hosting their showcases, and that's really important. So for right now, though, if you're like, should I play ECNL or NAL? Right now, I would probably say ECNL, but it depends, because if your NAL team, your club coach is going, yeah, but we think we're going to see you in the MLS Next roster, it also depends on your grad year. Like if you're a freshman or sophomore, I would say play NAL, because you can break into the MLS Next team, which is a really big deal. On the flip side, if you're a junior, you need to play right now, so then you need to be doing ECNL. Like I said, you guys can call me, the links below or the links in the bio, and we can sort your direct situation out. Okay, now, next. Girls Elite Academy, Boys Elite Academy. Then the next one I would probably say is ECNL RL, similar to NAL. It's a direct affiliation with the ECNL team. You can often guest play with your ECNL team, so that's a really good thing. So for the girls, it goes ECNL, then ECNL RL, and Girls Elite Academy could be equal. I'd probably put Girls Elite Academy ahead of ECNL RL, but again, this depends by club also, and that's why it's helpful when I can talk to you guys on the phone and that's why I allow you to give me a free call, is because I need to know, like, I need to ask you questions about your coach. I need to know what club you're playing for, because, like, Slammers has a really good reputation, even if you're playing ECNL RL, and Blues has a really good reputation on the girls' side, and LAFC SoCal have a okay reputation, and Santa Monica Surf, their boys' league academy, they have a great reputation for producing talent. So it can also depend on your club team. It could be better for you in some ways to stay on your team playing lots of minutes, not at ECNL MLS Next, depending on your club coach and your club team. So it's not cut and dry, but I hope to make it cut and dry for you if you give me a call, and then we can talk about your situation. Okay, now, what about USL Academy, which is something I didn't really mention in that pyramid? USL Academy is a really good level. It's probably similar level to MLS Next or ECNL, and arguably better in some ways, because if you break into the first team of the USL team, which is usually USL 2, which is now the kind of the professional soccer pyramid, you're a very good soccer player. I had a student, he was from Hawaii, and in his case, it was really difficult for him to get recruited because he was so far away. But there was an opportunity that we got for him because we were constantly emailing and reaching out to teams to play USL Academy in the summer. And I told his family, look, there's a really good opportunity. It's better than he was playing for Rush at the time. It's better than playing for Rush. You need to go play USL Academy. So he went and played USL Academy. He didn't necessarily get recruited, meaning it wasn't like a team saw he was playing USL Academy, then recruited him. But we sent that video and we told coaches, hey, I made the USL Academy team, and my teammate over there went to American, and my teammate over there went to Georgetown, and here's my video with them. And soon enough, he got himself a $50,000 scholarship to Humboldt, and he had Division I interest as well, but he wanted to go to Humboldt. That was a school he was aiming for, and so he was happy at the end of it. And that is kind of also what we're looking for you guys is, again, we want to find the right happy place for you. So when you are preparing for these tryouts for club teams, make sure you memorize the names of the players on your team. Make sure you shake the coach's hand. Make sure you email them and send them a video before you go, and you'll have a much better chance of properly being recruited, or I should say signed, by that club team. If you want more help in this process, give me a call. Links below, links above. We have a Discord chat. We have some programs now. You know, to work with me one-on-one is expensive because we're very, very, very hands-on. I'll talk to you every single day for the first month. And then after that, it kind of gauges based off of your situations, your club level and whatnot. So we can always get you involved in the Discord channel where we're answering your just short, simple questions, and I'm answering your questions. And then later on, if you're like, hey, I need more individual guidance, then you can give me a call. Pleasure talking to you all, and I look forward to talking to you next time.